Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. Yet again, so right here and there, I feel like that things are starting to look up just the way I hope so. And the series itself is in fact going to be having a lot more for me to talk about. Especially if I got something handy on me, like the notepad. I don't know, I probably could come up with a different name for it, but there are many other things out there called the notepad, so this is pretty much it. Seems to double as a clapperboard somehow, so it does pretty good here. But anyways, clapperboards aren't really the subject here for today's episode, but for today's episode, we got ourselves Demolitions, number 555. 555. So, that's another big thing to keep in mind right there. The 555 on Honest J. Nowak. I don't really know if that could be turned into a milestone challenge, or if the 555 itself was supposed to be a milestone of its own, but you know what? I guess that probably ain't too important, because after all, today's subject is Demolitions. 555 itself on HJN is going to owe itself to Demolitions. And you know what? Let's just get talking about Demolitions as a whole. If you were to blow up a building, be it by the usage of C4, plastic explosives, frag grenades, trip mines, or wires, then there are many ways that you can do this. But for the very skilled individuals who are very good at this, then Demolitions are simply put the processes of taking down large buildings by carefully putting in different explosives in certain spots of any type of possibly abandoned building that you might have to work with. And there are in fact lots of compilations out there on YouTube that happen to showcase the almighty shock and awe of how quick it is to tear down a gigantic building that had taken either months or years to build itself. Of course, the process of demolition seems very fun itself, but realistically, it can be very dangerous, especially if you aren't handling it correctly. There are many ways that you can actually end up getting hurt in there. I'm going to make another reference to 1000 Ways to Die, because there was at one point in one episode of that series where a couple crack addicts end up getting crushed by hundreds of tons of rubble that had been coming down from the building after it had been demolished. So, of course, that's another moment in 1000 Ways to Die that I pretty much showcase to the entire world. But I'm pretty certain that a lot of people might have already seen that part in the show already. So, probably get back to me if you know what I'm talking about there. But anyways, demolitions or not, lots of buildings have to go at some point. And I ain't really sure about it, but I feel like that nature would be a pretty good way to thrive within the lands. Because with all this industrial stuff, it's a wonder why the environment is so heavily plagued. And there's tons of gases and smogs that are being littered all over the atmosphere, contaminating so many different places around the world. I mean, there's lots of pictures that showcase that kind of situation as well. Lots of things are out there, but pollution is indeed a pretty devastating thing to ever have in our life. So, of course, demolitions are just one thing that you probably would consider to try and attempt to get rid of it, but anyways, I feel like I'm just going back to the smog episode, so let's try to avoid that. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.